Is it getting better or worse? If only from international news and online. From the words that broke out above, it seems that ordinary people have no way out. The economy was on the verge of collapse. Fear happens. Women's rights are extremely oppressed. The drug problem is not completely solved. This is no place for people. But if it is and has been for the past few decades, compared to Afghanistan at war, much better. Add a crackdown on a large number of bandits and thieves. You don't have to worry about going out at night. People would go into the street every day. The stall doesn't close until 9:10 p.m. Terrorist attacks and bombings, although there are still, but it's much less than it was under the previous government. So here's the thing, it seems to be safer than some European and American countries. For survivors, for the Afghan people who have been stable for a few years, as long as the country stops fighting, as soon as you open your eyes, you can see the sun the next day. No matter how hard it is better than the past. From 1978 to 2021, Afghanistan experienced a Soviet invasion. The first time the Taliban came to power during the Civil War, after 9/11s, the Americans invaded. Frequent terrorist attacks and conflicts. This land has been at war, suffering, until the withdrawal of US troops in August 2021. The Taliban are back in Kabul. Relative calm has arrived in Afghanistan. For years have passed. Afghan experienced a violent society, political and economic transformation. People are trying to make their lives better, but the mess left by the war, difficult to resolve in a short period of time. There are deeply held beliefs. It will be difficult to eliminate for a while. So here's the problem. Afghanistan under the Taliban. Is it more of a crisis? Still more dawn. Unlike the modern state in the ordinary sense, and Afghanistan is still largely tribal. We place great importance on family wealth and collective interests. Women are regarded as a symbol of family honor. At home from father from chest, go out from husband, regardless of age, as long as the gender is female. When you go out, you must pack yourself tightly. They're not related, or married men. Eye contact cannot enter the park. The gym cannot travel long distances. You can't even speak in public. There's also a rule that women can't study medicine and take relevant exams. Therefore, there are almost no female doctors and nurses in Afghanistan. Now it's hard to even go to school, because Afghanistan is the only country in the world that has been banned. Stop women from accepting countries with post-secondary education. And for Afghan women, the arrival of the Taliban, it is equivalent to locking freedom in a darker cage. After the Atta regime 2.0 came to power, quickly stopped using it. Enlightened Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Use Zahir instead. The Constitution of Afghanistan promulgated by the king in 1964 and declared that all violations, the relevant provisions of the Islamic law are invalid, although they are all Islamic countries. But interpretations of the Sharia vary widely from country to country. Atta has taken the strictest measures, the most conservative interpretation of Sharia. This is why women in Afghanistan living so wrong, neither this nor that. It's not just restrictions on women. The whole of Afghanistan hangs over the supreme leader, and under the most conservative Islamic education. Atta seeks an orderly society without noise. Religion is above all else. Suppress whoever refuses to accept. In addition, the ethnic minorities here are also having a hard time. Afghanistan is a typically multi-ethnic country. The Persawalski are the largest ethnic group. This is approximately 44% of the population. Then the Tajiks, Hagaris, Uzbeks, the Biru and the Turkmen. More people, more power. Especially in the age of cold weapons, Afghanistan has always been, has the most populous plats. TU control regime. This has led to both economic policy or political policy. It will naturally pour out on the nation. Pursue Afghanistan. Grand nationalism equivalent to ancient poetry and pictures. Its large ethnic minorities are excluded. Nothing has the voice over. The land will be confiscated and forcibly evicted. Even armed attacks. The Taliban are the meaning of religious students, early core members of the organization, mostly from religious schools, or was once in Nano Shadow, trained Pushatu group. To put it bluntly, the representative of the Afghan Taliban. In fact, it is you who are simple and simple. So I've been trying to transform and disillusioned for so long. Atta's reputation is still mixed, and there's a reason for that. Practice set. Protectionism and minority inequality policies. You can't blame others for always looking at you with colored eyes. It's been for years. except for Russia. Return. No other country has officially recognized the Taliban regime. The UN didn't give him legal representation. Not always fundamentally. How can we conduct active diplomacy? I'm afraid it's hard to get. Universal recognition by the international community. Then again, Taliban securities. 2.0, although there are various problems, but compared to version 1.0, at least restoring the economy, combating terrorism and progress, you can still see the action. Well known, the US invaded and occupied Afghanistan for 20 years. Reconstruction plus military spending cost $982 billion, but failed to establish effective and clean government. Before the Soviet Union intervened in the armed melee of various factions, the warlord section goes to the outside to fight for 10 miles. Workers in Afghanistan, the industrial and agricultural base was repeatedly destroyed. Decades of war lead to the Afghan government's hematopoietic capacity is very limited, like a man with a respirator, covered with tubes. Patients can only survive on external assistance. After the Taliban regained control in 2021, Messi has taken diplomatic isolation and other measures against it. The United States, the European Union, etc. Direct assistance from the Afghan government. The Afghan central bank's overseas holdings were frozen. $9 billion USD foreign exchange assets. In addition, the United States also continues to impose sanctions on Afghanistan's central bank. Lead to it is difficult to obtain international funds through normal channels. The banking system is in a crisis. This forced gossip. It paralyzed the Afghan government. 1/3 of the population is facing food shortages. A large number of businesses have closed down. Unemployment is skyrocketing. But Afghanistan, the economy has not lived up to Western predictions. Total collapse. He held on. It is better to ask for others than to ask for yourself. The added government, which has suffered big losses, has been accumulating, trying to save myself. In addition to the international tax community, economic investment in Afghanistan, border trade has also been strengthened, developing coal and other resource exports, stabilized part of the fiscal revenue. This country to China, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, etc. Although the investment is not much, but trade continues. It also brought some vitality to the Afghan market. The suffering of the Afghan people. It's impossible to sit still. Didn't give up during the war. Peacetime is only more willful. Many people work in agriculture. Traditional fields such as handicraft trade find their own way out. Underground economy. Also slow to a certain extent. The pressure of unemployment and falling incomes. On the other hand, United Nations, etc. International organizations also played a significant role. Continued contributions. Humanitarian assistance such as food and medical care. Signed urgently for Afghanistan. In general, the Afghan economy is currently under great pressure, but not broken. Social and economic fundamentals are barely holding up. In the future, if we can seize the resources and geographical advantages, strengthening regional cooperation, slowly improve yourself. Hematopoietic ability. Afghan's economy still has hope to recover. Ada revisits another major event after the game. It's counterterrorism. More than 20 terrorist organizations. It is America's greatest legacy to Afghanistan. We want to get rid of these extremists. It takes a long time. For example, the Islamic State, Laotian branch, the extremist group that poses the greatest threat, must work hard. Otherwise, the regime will be unstable. Light education stronghold arrest. Kill the leader and backbone. Close mosque schools where extremists operate. Cut off the spread of extreme ideas and operate it down. There must be an effect, but turning a blind eye is also obvious. There are many extremist groups in Afghanistan, like Al-Qaeda, Pakistani Taliban, etc. It has a complex historical relationship in itself and practical benefits out of the stability of the regime and the friendship of old comrades in arms. The Taliban are often unable to stay together with these organizations. Incomplete eradication is complete non-eradication. In the case of counterterrorism, any hesitation is an indulgence in the eyes of the international community. This also fails to deliver on the counterterrorism promise. Let's not let Afghanistan become a safe haven for terrorists. Ada hesitates here. Koro Mountain branch of ISIS, but not soft. Exploiting poverty in Afghanistan, unemployment and social conflicts, crazy absorption of marginalized youth and ethnic minorities. Militant, it gets bigger. Terrorist attacks continue to escalate. Tell the truth. Taliban regime. It has not been officially recognized by the international community. Intelligence exchange techniques and counter-terrorism assistance are limited. You have to go it alone. In this case, no matter how hard they try, the anti-terrorism effect is also unsatisfactory. The current security situation in Afghanistan, although overall it is much better than before, but in fact it is still slowly moving from chaos, the critical stage towards stability. The fight against terrorism still has a long way to go. Except for poverty and terrorism, Afghanistan, there's also a big headache that's been bothering me for decades. That's the drug problem. 80% of the world's factor drugs come from here. For a long time, drugs have not only destabilized Afghanistan itself, affected countries also suffer. After the Taliban comes to power for the second time in 2022, immediately declare a total anti-drug, nationwide ban on cultivation factors and cannabis, close the anesthesia laboratory, harsh crackdown on drug dealers and smugglers, fast and hardcore. What if you don't obey? Fill directly with the mechanical rolling factor, threat of fines, detain and serve one by one. It can be said to be quite Taliban, but the Taliban used to make a fortune from drugs. Such a big money bag. Are you willing to throw it away? Don't say anything else. This time, Atta is really serious about drug control. I asked both Face and Plum. Face, they want to change their image in the international community to gain greater international recognition and assistance. Progress, just a valid business card to show that I'm better. Literally, religious factors are very important. The Taliban have always claimed to be Islamic Orthodox, and drugs are in Islamic education, is strictly prohibited. In the past, when they were rebels, knowingly committing a crime because it costs money to fight wars. But now they're serious people. There's a principle here. Add to that the drug epidemic in Afghanistan. The socio-economic future is all being corrupted by drugs. Harry wants to write a composition for this. Correct and legitimate are widely recognized. It is necessary to maintain social stability in Afghanistan. Compared to fighting terrorism, drugs are hard, but more productive. There is also a practical reason. The food crisis. Afghanistan's food production over the past 1,000 years. It has not been planted without population growth factors. The area is getting bigger and bigger. Atta hopes to return farmland to wheat through the Pure Land, alleviating hunger in the country. From the data point of view, the results are amazing. 2023, Afghanistan factor cultivation area from 233,000 hectares reduced to 10,800 hectares. Opium production was sharply reduced from 6,200 tons to 333 tons, down as much as 95%. In 2024, Afghanistan will experience the smallest increase in planting factors, is 12,800 hectares, but it is mainly distributed in Badr, where Atta has the weakest control. Upper Northeast Province, previous factors Greater Province Helmand. It reduced the planting area by 99% in one go. 70% of the country's provinces have achieved no factor, and the virus have also been hit hard. Many illegal laboratories were shut down. And not only that, the Taliban also forced drug users into rehabilitation centers, forced detox by abruptly and completely withdrawing from the drug. Wait 2 years. Off on, the amount of drugs being smuggled out has dropped significantly. Iran, Central Asia, and other neighboring countries breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that the progress is productive, but new problems arose. Due to a sharp decrease in production, the price of opium has skyrocketed to a 20-year high, increased 10 times. As the saying goes, wealth is fascinating. All drug dealers now have more incentive to take risks. About this, some outsiders suspect that the Taliban did it on purpose, want to raise drug prices for violence. In addition, farmers' livelihoods. Government revenue has also been significantly affected. Grow wheat, and the payoffs are definitely different. Except for wheat, are there any other more valuable cash crops? Can you help the Afghan people get rich? This is something the Taliban need to take seriously. So let's just say that this wave of drug control is an iron fist operation. We have achieved historic results in the short term. It also ushered in Afghanistan the opportunity to escape the drug economy. But if you can't solve the farmers' anger, economic dilemma, social governance, etc., fundamental problem, the results of anti-drug efforts are likely to be short-lived. Can we say goodbye to drugs for good in the future? It depends on whether the Taliban has the wisdom and be patient. So let's just say that After a long period of conflict and social division, the Afghan people's desire for peace, stronger than ever. They're looking forward to more than just rhythm and chaos. It is a place where the next generation can live and work in peace and contentment. A new life connected to the world, and the Taliban's best solution is to conform to the trend of the times. Strive to integrate into the world. If you have to go the old way, there is no doubt that there is only one end. Orphans of the world.